What's going on, everyone? It's Tachi coming at you with another episode of Living Your Best Life. And thank you so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes today, when or wherever you are in the universe right now. But if you don't know what we do on our show, I'm going to tell you. But if you do know what we do on our show, awesome. Thank you for checking us out. But if you don't know, well, I'm going to share it with you right quick. We invite professionals on to talk about what they do and how what they do is contributing to a healthier society, a wealthier society, just a better society in general. That's what we want ultimately, I hope and I think. But that's what we do on the show, everyone. Listen, as I don't often say it, I want you to like or subscribe to the channel, okay? Because I want you to know about these professionals that are coming onto the show. So, hey, if anyone resonates with you, get in contact with you. That's why we do the show, or someone that you may love. Have them contact them. That's why we do the show, right? So like or subscribe to the channel. So, but anyway, I had the awesome opportunity to meet Charlotte Spencer. She's a nurse practitioner out of the Texas area, and I absolutely love her approach in her practice. Why? Because she focuses on lifestyle medicine, lifestyle approaches. All right, that's really where it's at. All right, changing the mind, change your life. That's really where it's what we're talking about here. We're going to be talking about weight loss medications. That's the main conversation. But if you don't have a lifestyle to accompany those weight loss medications, it's going to come back. That's just simple. That's just the law of nature, right? So, but like I said, she pushes lifestyle along with those weight loss medications. We're going to be talking about gut health. We're going to be talking about also hormonal health. So we cover a wide variety of topics. So please check her out. Okay, check her out. So that's in the show. Now, before we get onto the show, of course, we have the weight loss challenge coming up. Okay, that is the Well Beyond 50 Reset Challenge. We have the webinars that are happening every Thursday and Sunday night. So you want to make sure that you get in on the next webinar to get the details about the challenge. All right, so we're going to cover a lot of those things that we're talking about in this particular episode here in that challenge. So make sure that once again that you get in on that webinar so you can find out what the challenge is about. So everyone, that's that. Listen, we have Scharlotte Spencer coming up on the interview, and thank you. All righty. So I'll see you on the other side of the commercial in about 20 or 30 seconds, something like that. All right. So y'all take care and see you on the other side. Be good. Peace. So welcome back, everybody, to Living Your Best Life. And hey, we have an awesome show. But before we get to the show, like right below, like I said in the commercial, I want everyone to pay attention to our next challenge. Yes, of course, if you are 50 and beyond and you want to get well and stay well beyond 50, you want to get on that challenge. But get on the webinars first and find out what the challenge is all about. Get some details, because we're going to have an exciting time when they do kick up again. But hey, enough about that. I am on to my guest. Now, at first I had a little bit trouble pronouncing her name, and I think I'm going to get it right today. When you put those S and C's together, it throws me off. So,
Yes.
Charlotte Spencer,
Sure.
Dr. Charlotte Spencer, is that correct?
Yes, sir, you are correct. It is
Awesome.
a challenge.
Yeah. When, like I said, you put those S, C's, and H's. The English language can be so kind of jacked up at times, and trying to figure that out. But thank you so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes today.
Thank you for having me. I love chatting with people. I love what you're doing, and so thank you for actually having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yes. So you're coming out of like the Texas area, right? What
I
part of Texas?
am I'm in the suburb of Houston, Texas. I'm North Houston, Spring, Texas to be exact. I'm right
Okay.
outside of the city of Houston.
Okay. How you guys doing down there weather-wise? Because you
Um,
guys are getting pretty rocked.
yeah,
As
this
of
is the rainiest summer that I've had.
I
Like
know.
it's crazy. So we've just had rain every day, but it's
Yeah.
hot. That's one thing it's not going to stop doing is being hot.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
And my wife, she was just somewhat kind of caught up with the whole Dallas Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas, Dallas airport system down there.
Mm,
Because from what I understand, that whole Dallas airport can be kind of crazy if you're flying out of it. And
yes, yes, yes.
she had to spend the night in the airport, to be honest with you, and
Yes.
because of whatever weather or the FAA. But yeah, so you are the founder and CEO of Balanced Body and Wellness, right?
Sir, I am. I am. I
Awesome,
am.
awesome, awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit about who you are, Doc, and what because you've had a major transformation in your life in terms of your health challenges. So I would love for you to share a little bit about who you are and how you came to be the person that you are today.
Well, that's great. I would love to share with you. So, I have two major changes that happened actually, my health wise and also my career wise. So I
Mhm,
am a nurse practitioner. I have been a nurse for over 20 years. I've been a nurse practitioner for 12. My background is family practice. I'm certified, board certified in family practice. I'm also board certified in hospice and palliative care. So my career started, I always say God does things for a reason. And one of the things was he started me off in end of life. And so as a nurse, I've always taken care of patients that were really seriously ill. So I started off HIV and AIDS, then I
mm,
went into oncology and med surg. And so for me, that's when I switched into palliative medicine. And palliative medicine is care of a patient with serious illness and really managing symptoms to keep them on their path of cure. And then when
mm,
they decide that that's not what they want to do, I help them transition to hospice and focus on comfort and quality of life. So I did that for 10 years, right? Just solely 10
yeah.
years caring for patients. And I do it well. I can help you die well. I can help you manage your
Mm,
symptoms well as well. But one of the things that was happening was that I started to see, just over the years, everything was related to our health and um, especially our Black and Brown community. I started, it was diabetes, it was heart disease, it was kidney disease, liver disease. But these are things that we could change based on
mm,
what we're putting in our mouth and how we were living, and all, I love my people. And one of the things we always say is my mama had sugar. My mama had diabetes.
mm,
Even my own family members, just because grandmother had this, they thought that this was okay for me to have these illnesses and not being educated. So I just got to the point where, I am ready to help you live and
mm,
not, my dissertation, I'm doctoral prepared nurse practitioner. My dissertation was diabetes self-management in the Black and Brown community. And my research was phenomenal. I was so just geeked about it because all I needed to do was educate us on what it was. We don't know what our medicine is. We don't know what we're taking. My research showed, like, one of the patients, I can use an example. She's like, I can't take metformin. And so when we were digging through her medicine, she was taking it because it was inside of another pill. She didn't even know. So
wow.
oftentimes we don't know what we're doing. We rely on our physicians and our providers, which we're supposed to trust them, but we don't educate ourselves or empower ourselves. So that was kind of my turning point in my career. I started with just doing weight loss, helping people lose weight when the GLP-1s came out. And then I started to feel like, it's more to this. And so taking weight loss and using the tool, but putting lifestyle medicine as the core is what I have transitioned my practice to. For my own journey, one of the reasons why I was like, why didn't I do this earlier? It's because I have been obese all of my life. I've
Mm,
had obesity all of my life. I've had insulin resistance. I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had all of these things I didn't know, and I just thought I was big bone because my daddy's side of the family, that's what they had.
mm,
When I became a nurse practitioner, I had decided I could not stand in a room with a patient and tell them, you need to lose weight, right? And I was 260 pounds. So that's when I went on my third quest of weight loss, and trying things. And I really adopted a healthier lifestyle, which was getting in the gym every day and working out. I wound up becoming a power lifter and at 40 and doing different things. But again, I had to learn that this was a lifestyle and this was not a quick fix. So after losing 100 pounds on third try, this time, what has stuck for me is the lifestyle medicine and making sure that you can't get away from it. You have to change your mindset and make sustainable changes, or it's not going to work. And it's okay, I'm not saying perfect. That's why my practice is balanced body, because yes, you have to be. It's not going to be perfect, but it has to be consistent. And if you stay consistent, you will see results. So then it's always a pivot. Then as I'm helping these people and we're losing weight and we're doing great and all the things, and then my women and my men are hitting bricks, and I'm like, what's happening? And that's when I started to really focus on hormone therapy, and so I started to realize that okay, now your body's working against you. Not only, now we
Mm,
fixed the fact that you are working on the right path, but your body is working against you, especially when we get into that 35 and up, 40 years old, perimenopause, menopause. And so then I started focusing on looking at our lab work and looking at our symptoms, just like I did with palliative medicine. So bringing that in and putting those things together to see what is going on with you. Oftentimes you go to your provider and you say, I am feeling off. I am tired. I can't sleep. I don't want to touch my husband. I don't want him touching me, or all those things. And men, you're tired. And then they draw lab work and they say, you're fine. And a couple things happen. They say, you're fine, or they give you an antidepressant. And so
mm,
what happens with that is then you think that this is the way life is supposed to be. And what I'm seeing in so many of our people, especially us as Black and brown people, is that we just think that this is the way it is at 40. So we just gonna be tired and work through it. And we don't know what feeling good feels like. And so that's when I am now focusing on working on those symptoms and letting them know that we don't have to live like that. And how did I come to that, Todd? Myself. I'm like, I can't be this tired. Like, I'm doing
mhm.
everything right. Why am I tired? And I realized I was no testosterone, no estrogen. Like, I was depleted to the max. Our vitamin D was depleted. Like, that's what I see now. So now that is my really taking care of that person, that whole person is looking into those things, matching them with how they're feeling and treating them. Even if that number is normal, as they say, we want to be optimal. I want you to feel good. So that number that's normal, that doesn't mean anything to me. If you're telling me you're not feeling good, I'm gonna treat you so that you can feel good and you can live
Mm.
your best life. And that is
Wow.
me. Um,
Wow. Did you
that's
have this prepared? You must have like said this like 1,000 times because
no,
my
n-
God, this is absolutely phenomenal information.
no, I didn't. And I was worried about today because I kept saying, I have a lot to say. And how am I going to say this to him and make him see my passion in
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
doing? So no, I just know that I just know that I want my people to feel good, Todd. And
Yeah, yeah.
you have to sit in this room with me when I pull up the lab work and the assessment tool, and then I say, "This is why you feel this way," and you see the eyes, and you see sometimes you have the tears, or they're
Hmm.
like that. Oh, they're just like, "I'm not crazy. I am not losing it," and so that it's just such a feeling. It's like my feeling that I had when I took care of you and helped you come at comfort at end of life. It's just that
Yeah.
feeling for me. So
Wow.
that's me.
Wow. I absolutely love your approach, your mission and vision. Is so refreshing because, like you say, yeah, a lot of us are just we're misinformed, and that's what we go on. So my question to you also, just listening to you and with regards to your journey, working in the hospice, because that can be a daunting and just kind of like just being in that environment. Some people it can enlighten them. Some people it can depress them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working in that environment, what did you take away from working in that environment? What did you learn about life and even
Oh,
death?
man, so being a nurse and being at the bedside in oncology and HIV AIDS, I saw people die horribly, right? I
Mm,
saw people suffer until the end of their life. And so when I was introduced to palliative medicine and hospice support, and I saw that you can actually die with peace and comfort. And what I
Mm,
mean by that is you're not struggling to breathe. You're not struggling. Your family knows and understands what's happening, and they recognize that we're at this place, and you're at peace at where you are. When you see a good death versus a bad death, oh, you want everybody to die the right way.
hmm.
And really, really, and I'm sorry, Todd, I will say this 100 times. We as
Yeah.
Black and brown people, we are misinformed. And one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna share the misinformation. We're gonna share it at church, we're gonna share it at the
Hmm.
brunch. And so what happens then is when it's their time, the first thing they do is they resist what is really needed for them. So I would have to debulk the misinformation to take care of the patient.
Hmm.
So morphine kills the patient. No, it doesn't. What it does is it slows down their breathing. You see how she's breathing? When I give her this medicine, it's going to slow her down so that she can breathe comfortably. If
Mm.
she passes away, it's because she's now comfortable enough to pass comfortably. But you have to teach them that. They think, so because the pastor or somebody came and said this and brought this information, or we elect the service so late that the patient is so much distress that when we come in, it looks like I'm giving them medicine for them to die. No, I finally get them comfortable enough to pass. So oftentimes that's what it was for me, is like being able. Sometimes it was hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oftentimes for me, especially when it was a difficult family, it was I gotta help them. I'm not the enemy. Let me help you. And they would see someone that looks like them, and they would kind of calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
But death is death. So, the first thing they do is get really excited, really ready
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
So just educating them pieces and just being their support, and sometimes just being there. And
Wow.
so it was a challenge. It was rewarding. I still love it. I still do advanced care planning because I believe that we do not give our wishes to the person they need to be our voice. So I believe in advanced care planning. I just This weekend I spent a day in New Orleans burying my best friend's mother. And
Yeah.
although
My condolences. Yeah.
as she being an advanced practice nurse, doctoral prepared, that this does what I do, it
Hmm.
was so hard for her family to understand where they were in this journey. So just being able to be there to support them, is a calling. You have to have the gift.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
my faith and my belief in my family system is what helped me on those difficult times.
Hmm. Hmm.
And knowing that this is God's work. That's how I
Yeah.
felt about palliative
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we have to kind of like really narrow it down and file it down to that. This is God's work,
Yeah.
and leave it at that.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, then I think you can be in trouble if you
Mhm.
don't look towards that ultimate power
And
and
you,
understand that.
and I will share with you, a person that does not have a faith or belief is
Hmm.
probably the hardest one to help, and manage them, because they don't have that. And
They
so
don't.
when you see a person that is dying at the end of life and they don't have that, it's really a challenge. It's like,
Wow.
wow, they don't, because they don't have that. They don't have a faith. They don't have a
Yeah.
belief in a higher power, as you're stating. And that's a different kind of death. Two different, totally different deaths.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I do have a number of friends that that
Yeah,
don't
they
have
don't
that kind of
believe.
faith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have that faith, and
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, okay, well, that's on you, but you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but thanks for that because I was wondering, like I said, as you were introducing your journey or speaking about your journey, that had to be, like I said, like you said, rewarding, or depending on who you are, can lead you into a spiral of down spiral and
Yes.
of
Yes.
depression because we
Mm-hmm.
don't understand life and death in a natural way.
Right.
Uh, yeah,
And I think, and
and
I
that's
will say
good.
with
Yeah,
you now, not doing it every single day, um, sometimes you have to step away. So I didn't
yeah.
realize, because I thought this is
Oh
what
yeah,
God intended me to
yeah,
do. I got to
yeah,
do this every
yeah,
day. And
yeah.
now that I've stepped away from it full time, I can see where it was taking a toll at
Yeah.
some point, because I just wanted to help you, but I
Right, right. When
this
you have
whole
that
thing,
heart, then yeah, when you have that heart,
it
then it's
does
gonna.
tag on you. And then you start to feel like, why did you not you start to say, you know, this is diabetes. We can control this. So when
Hmm.
I started to feel that, that's when I knew it was time to switch. Like when I
Hmm.
started to get kind of like, you know, I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
I want you to do right. It was a time to switch. And I still do it on the side, like in my
Yeah.
mind, in my heart,
Yeah.
I help family and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't do it full time anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a movie out years ago called Patch Adams. It was with Robin Williams, where he was a this doctor who went off on did his own thing with regards to helping people transition in a more, with more integrity.
Mm.
And this was his mission, his passion, and I love the movie because it just demonstrates that life is precious,
Yes.
and and we have to take care of each other even to the very end.
Mhm.
And that's what you're up to, and I appreciate, and once again, thank you for all you're doing and your passion and
Thank
your vision, like I said earlier, and your mission. And it's contagious, and it's like okay, because I want to, my whole thing, and I speak with my wife about this often. She even speaks about this tagline that I like to use, is I just simply want to show people that they have options.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what I say. And even in at that stage of life, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, is what I tell them. If we're at A, we got all the way to Z, and
Yeah.
that's another thing is being able to be okay with people's decisions. Because
Mm,
sometimes, my friend's mother, she wanted to fight all the way to the end, even when they
mm,
said there's nothing else to do. She's like, I'm not ready to die. I got so much to live. I'm 65 years old.
mm, mm.
And that to me, I watched her suffer, and I prayed like, God, please just take her out of. But this is what she wanted, so you know what? We had to honor that. And just like you said, you got to give people their options, and if that's what she
Yeah.
want to do, we got to then be that advocate for her and be that support.
Yeah. Yeah. If this is, it's one thing if it's a family member or a
Mhm.
friend or whatever, but if it's that person that wants, hey, this is my fight and I want to fight this, and you have to honor that. You have to honor that.
Yes,
And
yes.
so, yeah. And so, like I said, that's one of my things. It's like, just want to show people that they have options. And so, when you speak of your services and what you do within your practice, um, one being medicated weight loss medication,
Mhm.
metabolic, and also metabolic therapies, um, hormone,
Mhm.
diabetes, and there was a fourth one. I can't remember. I said it earlier.
Gut
Uh,
health.
Gut health. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. And I really want to tie that one in because I think that's one that really is overlooked.
Yes.
It's becoming more of a bubble in terms
Mhm.
of bubbling conversation. We're hearing about it more and more.
Mhm.
But like you said, our people, we get it last.
We get it last. We do.
We get it last.
We get it last. Or another thing that I've been hearing the buzz is that I'm going to try it the natural way. And that's nothing wrong with that.
Please tell me.
I'm
Yeah, share
okay.
with
I'm
that.
okay with that. And even when I have a functional test that we do. It's called the GI
Mhm,
Spotlight. And you send in a stool sample. What that
mhm,
does is it then tells us what is going on in your gut. Your gut is your second brain, and it controls everything, your metabolism, your hormones, all the things. So when your gut has overgrowth of bacteria, or not enough good bacteria, you can have, or holes in the membrane, run into leaky gut or things that's happening. And so we have to heal it. We have to heal our gut. But we will hear on social media, or I got this offline, or this doctor said I just have to eat watermelon for 3 weeks.
mhm,
A young lady came in here and said, I just want to do a watermelon cleanse. And I said, what is that going to do for you?
mhm.
What type of nutrition are you going to get from that? I just need to cleanse everything. I said, you probably do, but let's find out what's the reason, what's going on. So I do believe in um, things that are going to be natural as possible. But I think that we need to be a little bit more mindful in finding out what's wrong, and then
Mhm.
treating it the in the right way. So
Right.
instead of just this is what I have a this is what we do. Like this is
Yeah.
what. let's do a cleanse. Let's do a smoothie
Yeah.
cleanse. Let's do a watermelon challenge. Like those things. I think there are great ideas for little things in between, but your liver is another thing. Your liver is a big old filter. It's like your car filter,
Mhm,
your oil
mhm,
change.
mhm.
You have to detox. You have to clean it, but how do you do that? You gotta stop eating all that bad stuff and you gotta take care of yourself. So it's the gut is just such an amazing tool. That young lady that you saw the story,
Yes, yes.
she was having, and I can share that one real quick. She's a professional. She's a nurse
Hmm.
over 20 years. And when she came to my open house and I was talking about gut health, she pulled me to the side and she said, I'm having terrible bloating. I am having really disruptive bowel movements. I am having constipation and diarrhea and accidents. So I'm like,
Hmm.
you're almost
Hmm.
60 years old and you can't control your bowels. What's
Yeah.
going on? And so she's like, I don't know. I think I have, um, I don't know, yeast or something she was saying. And I said, well, let's stop diagnosing ourselves because nurses do that. I said,
Hmm.
let's do a test. And so she bought the test immediately. She took it home. She gave up the stool. She sent it in. It comes with everything you need to do. You send it in. And about 4 weeks, it came back and it showed that she had an overgrowth of bad bacteria. And
Hmm.
that bad bacteria was then taking and decreasing the permeability or the lining of her gut. So then she was having some leaking of whatever she was putting in her body was just going into her
Hmm.
system. So she was
Yeah.
just really having trouble. And then she didn't have enough good bacteria. So we were able to see that in the test when it came
Hmm.
back, and she was just like, "Oh, great! There is something wrong." Because the first thing you say is you're kind of self-diagnosing, but then you're kind of worried, like, what if this is just the way life is going to be?
Hmm.
So once we realized that that's what was wrong, the first thing we did was we started off with healing the gut because the thing is like, oh, I just want to get so I don't have enough good bacteria. Let me put some more good bacteria in there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's like putting too many people on the bus. So can't keep the bad people on the bus and then add new good people on the bus because the bad people are going to beat up the good people. So you got to
Hmm.
get rid of the bad people first. So we healed her gut, decreased the leaking. So healing that permeability and decreasing the healing, getting rid of that bad one, and then bringing in the good bacteria to stay. And
Mm.
that came for supplements. We didn't do any um uh medicine in terms of Western
Right.
medicine. We did
Right.
everything through supplementation. And that's what we're doing now. That's what we're working on now.
Wow. Awesome. 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 Yeah, like I said, this gut thing is so overlooked that yeah, we really don't, that's not on the radar in a lot of our conversations. And then when it is on the radar of our conversations, it's about over medication, I think,
Hmm.
that tends to you put a person on this medication or that medication,
Yes.
and even that medication can be doing something to the liver with regards to depleting nutrients within the body. Now so it's one thing just always, and that's been the issue with I think Western medicine to a degree
Yes. Yes.
in
And
terms
one of
of
the things
yeah,
everybody says, oh, I'm on a protein pump, I'm on a Pepsid, I'm on a protein pump, Protonics, I'm on a protein pump inhibitor. And that is something that we should use last because again, it will then strip us of the good stuff. And so
yeah,
we really our body is a beautiful machine. It takes and heals itself, right? If we give it
yeah,
the
yeah,
opportunity. But if we're wiping it out with all, constantly, it doesn't have the opportunity to do what it's naturally made to do.
yeah.
Um, and it's gonna be a while because I come from Western medicine. Yep, I'm gonna give you have GERD, I'm gonna give you a protein pump inhibitor to stop the pump from making the acid. And then
Hmm.
it's like, well, why is the pump making the acid? Because there's a problem in there that the
Hmm.
pump thinks it needs to make the acid. So let's find out what the problem is, right? So that's kind of
Yeah.
you're right. You're absolutely
No,
right.
and that's why I appreciate what you do because the why is where we should be spending our time and our money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, um, medication, oh, we don't have a system that pays for that,
No.
and that is, I think, a tragedy in itself. So we have a system that pays for your sickness, but it doesn't have a
Hmm.
system that doesn't pay for your wellness.
Wellness. Yes, you are so right, Todd. That is a big thing. And then only the people who have the funds
And that's what I was reading. I was actually listening to a conversation between two wealthy guys,
Mm-hmm.
and both of these guys were like getting, I mean, they were going through uh, these things where they were just optimizing their health and their wellness. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
from red heat therapy or whatever, red light
Mm-hmm.
therapy, to all
Yes.
of these expensive practices and modalities. And one asked the other, say, is this a rich man's game in terms
Yes.
of optimizing your health and wellness?
Yes.
And maybe you can share a little bit of light on that, because a lot of now you're in your field, and a lot of times the reason that we are stuck in traditional or Western medicine is because we have insurance. And
Yes.
so this dissuades us from coming to someone like yourself, where we know that we can probably receive more help from you because you're going to find out the why.
I can't afford you. I can't pay for you. And
Yeah.
I'm going to say this though, Todd. I'm glad you said that. I um I am a cash-based practice, and the reason why I am that way is because when I was insurance-based, I was dictated by
Mm,
insurance on how to care for my patient.
yeah.
15 minutes for this, 20 minutes for this. They only can get this. They won't pay for this. And so I decided when I transitioned to my own practice, I was going to be cash based. I recently added what we call direct primary care services, and that is a program where you pay a monthly fee and you have unlimited access to me.
Hmm.
And it's on a tier type basis. You have so much you
Hmm.
get like that. And it's like no insurance, no problem. And I will be able to take care of you in the way that that you can be taken care of. Um, but Todd, we we spend our money where we want to spend our money.
Of course, prioritizing.
And it is so, yes, I want what you offer, but when I give you the price, because I got to pay for what I take care of myself and my family and
Yeah.
everything too. So when I say this is the price and you're like, "Oh no," and I'm just gonna be straight honest, that wig on your
Hmm.
head is $300, but your gut is unhealthy.
Yeah.
It hurts me because then
Yeah.
I see where all this problem is going to happen. I'm not judging you, but I know, like I'm looking at your feet are swollen, your ankles are swollen, you're overweight, but your hair is bad. And
Hmm.
so I struggle with that and trying to help. And I will say I've been told by all of my mentors, stop changing your prices because I want to
Hmm.
help you so bad. But then, here I am, trying to help you and you
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
vacation in Bermuda
Oh,
and
wow.
I
Yeah.
ain't been on a vacation in 3 years. So I
Yeah.
really, really, really it's just hard. And I think we just have to be the biggest thing I can say is that we it is a rich man's game. However, we there are ways for us to take care of ourselves. And if we take
Yeah.
care of it, then we don't have to worry about when it's sick because sickness is way more expensive than being well.
Pay now, pay later.
Pay now or pay later. Um, and it's easy stuff. It's not something that we're not asking you to do something really big. Um, it's just hard. It's really hard in this space of cash uh non-insurance. It's really
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, I can imagine. You mentioned something earlier, which brings me back because you made a transition in your health journey
Hmm.
from 260 pounds to where you are now. Um, and so a lot of us aren't even willing to take some of those small steps and be committed to it.
Right.
We think about it. I don't know if that counts. you know,
Hard.
we think about it, but we're not willing to commit to the lifestyle change, and I think that's where the problem lies overall. You made a commitment to lifestyle change, like you said earlier, and where you were going to the gym, you made a commitment. Each day, 4 or 5 days a week or whatever. A lot of people feel as though, and probably how you worked out too, because we have to grow muscle.
Hmm. Hmm.
Muscle is your base for your metabolism. The
Right.
more muscle you have, the better your metabolism. So now You also offer weight loss medication.
Do.
And your approach, I think, is really interesting because, and I don't know how widespread it is when it comes to these types of approaches when it comes to lifestyle options too, or just medication alone and you're on your own and kind of like leave it at that.
So I do. The core of my practice is lifestyle medicine, and it's the six pillars: what you put in your mouth, how you move your feet, how you're sleeping, how you're
Hmm.
managing your stress, avoiding risky behaviors, and getting good social connections. And so, those and the tool. I am currently on a GLP-1. I've been on, October will be 3 years, and that's how I lost this last 100 pounds. I've lost 100 pounds 3 times.
Wow.
My highest weight was 301 when I was a baby, and I was 21 years old. And then I just been up and down, up and down.
Hmm.
This tool allows me to be intentional about what I put in my mouth. So you have to use the tool the right way. The tool allows me to not, it calms down my food noise. So I'm not waking up in the morning, what's for dinner? It
Hmm.
allows me to now be intentional about what I put in my mouth, and then I can prioritize what I'm eating. Do I eat
Hmm.
perfect? Absolutely not. But I know that prioritizing, and that's what I teach my clients. Before you're gonna eat your protein first, and you're gonna eat your
Hmm.
vegetable, then you're gonna eat your carb, and then you should be full.
Hmm.
You don't have any space for anything else. You don't, because you're full. And
Yeah.
so that's what I try to teach my clients. If they prioritize their protein, if they're and they eat how there's, they're not, you don't have that noise telling you it's time to eat, it's time to eat, time to eat. You prioritize it. You will have better success. Now, can you
Hmm.
lose weight and don't prioritize? Absolutely, but you better believe you're going to lose muscle. And we need muscle.
Hmm.
We need our
Yeah.
muscle.
Yeah.
And so my practice is the core is lifestyle medicine with the tools. I get people all day. They don't want that. They don't want to hear me. They don't want to their follow-up appointments. I do have people that are committed, but I do have
Hmm.
some that just want to get the shot and move on. But they usually come back when they gain, because you can still gain, you
Yeah.
can eat
Yeah.
over the shot. And so
Yeah.
then they start to, it's funny, they'll come back and say, they've been gone from me for a while. And they'll be like, "Yeah, I've been drinking my water. I do be." So I know that you're listening. I know
Yeah.
you're listening.
Yeah.
That you got to eat your water, drink your protein, or what have you. But yeah, my goal is that we just know how to do it. And I didn't learn it overnight. I don't do it perfectly. Um, I just set up. I just keep trying every day. I just wake up every day and try every day. Try every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the goal. Just try every day. 80% of the time, eat unprocessed. Cook at home. Eat unprocessed food.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
20% of the time you can have what you want. Alcohol is our enemy. And I
Yeah.
don't want to sound like that. I
I
wasn't
get
gonna
you.
do that. I wasn't gonna do that to you because I am sober 3 years. It'll be 4 years this
Wow.
January 1st.
Right.
Because I'm from New Orleans and alcohol and is a part of it's like part of my genes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was another big piece of why my weight was there. When
Hmm.
you're working out and you're trying to burn fat, your body's going to burn the alcohol first. So if
Yeah.
you're trying to work out and on the weekends you're drinking a lot of alcohol, you have just reset, you just stopped all of your work. So
Yeah.
trying to teach my clients that limiting the alcohol is going to help. And no, you don't have to be sober like I am, because I am practicing sobriety because it's the best thing for me.
Hmm.
It does, you will see a difference in your weight loss journey when you decrease that alcohol intake, when you stop
Yeah.
doing that drinking. And it's funny because this medicine works on this same receptor. So
Hmm.
90% of my clients have significantly stopped drinking. And not intentionally, all of them, right? I have one that called
Hmm.
me, I
Hmm.
never forget. She's like, "I want to have fun with my friends and I don't want my wine." And I was like, "Your fault. I had nothing to do with that."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that I don't know where I got with that, but that's another
No.
piece of us. We got to go brunching. We got to have wine. We got to have our
Yeah.
mimosas
Yeah.
full of empty calories and sugar, and our body is going to try to burn that stuff first. So
Yeah.
let's eliminate that. Then we can stick to burning the fat.
Right. Yeah. People don't realize that, alcohol is like this purest form of sugar in its actual makeup.
Yes.
And yeah, and so yeah, the body will search for that first
Mhm.
before it even attacks the fat in terms of energy use.
Mhm.
And I always try to, share that with my clients that are drinkers and, things like that, that, yeah, I'm not one to say stop doing the things you truly
You
love again.
enjoy. Yeah.
But please, please, please do realize is that we can't become a slave to these things, especially when we put our health, if we supposedly prioritizing our health.
And
And
oftentimes you look at what they're doing, and so they'll be doing really well, and then they'll see a halt. And then when we sit down and look at what they're putting in there, and then once we realize it's the alcohol and they move it out, then you'll see the movement again. So they
yeah,
have to
yeah,
see that, hey, this is what it is, and that's, part of the lifestyle,
yeah,
avoiding
yeah,
those risky behaviors.
yeah. So another focus in your practice is, of course, the big one. This is where everyone, and so like I was saying in the beginning, well beyond 50, and now it's it's 40 and
Yeah,
30.
35. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this hormone thing.
Yes.
This is a huge one, and like you said, you see people hit a wall when it comes to their health and weight loss journey.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, yes, let's check out your hormones because uh, that can put us in just this whirlwind of like this isn't working,
Hmm. Hmm.
and not realizing that we should be looking for hormonal health, even
Right.
at the even I feel at the levels of cortisol,
Hmm.
which what
Thyroid.
yeah, yeah, we
Hmm.
don't really
Both of
pay
them.
too much attention to our sleep
Hmm.
habits and things of that nature.
Hmm. Hmm.
So go into a little bit about how you are helping with hormonal health and the things that you use in your practice to help people get over those challenges.
Well, what I started to do was my consultations were already kind of in depth, but I kind of transitioned to what I call the balance blueprint. And before
Hmm.
we even start talking about weight loss or hormone health, we do a balanced blueprint. And that blueprint is a series of test and assessment tools. So you're doing a health history, I'm doing a body scan. So I'm looking at your
Hmm.
fat analysis, your lean mass, your bone density. I'm doing all that along with your hormones. I'm looking at
Hmm.
your sexual hormones, but I'm also looking at your thyroid, your insulin, and then we're taking those along with your assessment tools and your health history. We're putting those all together. And then we're looking at where you are not optimized. And so that is my balanced blueprint to start. Just let's find out where you are. And
Hmm.
oftentimes we see people like our men, they'll be at the low numbers when it comes down to testosterone. And that affects so many things. The thing is that people think testosterone has the most receptors in our body. It has
Hmm.
to do with metabolism and weight loss and muscle mass, but energy and all the things. And so when those numbers are low, you're affecting so many different pieces of our body. Um, and not just men, women as well. And so this what we have to do is optimize those numbers so that we get ourselves out of the risk for different things. So, risk for all cause mortality, risk for cardiovascular disease, risk for prostate cancer. We think that, oh, hormone therapy puts us in a risk for cancer. No, not having the hormones, you are putting yourself at risk. So, just making sure my patients are optimized in those numbers.
Hmm.
Um, uh, and it's just really hard because they go to their primary doctor and they say, your numbers are normal. And they are, but they're at the low normal, or they really,
Yeah.
but you're
So I
still
was in
not.
that green area. That
Yes, I need you optimized. I need
yeah.
you to be optimized. Optimization. You need to be at least 800 in your testosterone for men.
Hmm.
That, we need to move up. We need to move.
Can we get back there? Can we get back there to 800?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be, you have to take something. You got to give it to you. We got to give
Yeah.
it to you. And we got to
Yeah.
be doing strength training, and we got to be
Right.
sleeping well, and we got to be doing things. And I have to now supplement you with testosterone. We can get
Yeah.
there. We can.
Yeah. And that was the thing. Yeah. So my wife is dealing with it right now in terms of
Hmm.
hot flashes and just like going
Yes.
crazy. And so of course, and a couple of my clients right now are just struggling. They're bouncing back and forth to doctors and trying to understand their hormonal issues.
See, one of the
And
things that we have to say is this, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
it's fine.
that we have to give realistic expectations up front, because it's, again, we are optimizing a hormone. I am
Mm-hmm.
now adding something to you, and we have to adjust a lot. So a lot of times what you're saying is true. Our doctor, they'll go to one doctor, they feel like it's not working, they'll go to another doctor. It doesn't happen overnight. And
Mm-hmm.
especially if we're so depleted, Todd. So if I'm at, like me, I was at such a low number, it's not going to happen overnight. You don't
Mm-hmm.
throw it at them. You don't throw a large dose at them, because remember, I
Mm-hmm.
just said to you that these are your energy hormones. So you think I could just give you the highest dose right now? No, I will mess your body up. So I
Yeah.
need to give it to you slow, and check your labs often and adjust accordingly. One of my young ladies, at 63 years old, very active line dancer, and we her first 6 weeks we had her on a certain dosages, and her body resigned reply it took testosterone really, really well, a little bit too much. So I had to decrease her
Mm-hmm.
dose a little bit. But her estrogen, she did not respond to. So we had to change.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change the delivery. I had to change the way I was giving it to her. So it takes some time, but that expectation has to be given to you at the beginning. Um, there's going to be side effects at the beginning, because your body is getting used to having those hormones again. And you got to think about what happens
Mm-hmm.
when you have those hormones. One of the ladies called me yesterday. My breasts are tender. I'm 70 years old. I know, because I'm increasing your estrogen level. It'll go away. But making sure that you guys have that realistic expectation at the beginning. But once we get you at that level, like you said, Todd, if I get you there, we have the right rhythm. You are optimized. You will
Yeah.
be feeling great, but it takes some time. It's not going to happen overnight. So that is kind of where we start to jump.
Mm-hmm.
We go from
Mm-hmm.
doctor to
Mm-hmm.
doctor to doctor. Oh, this isn't working. I gave her 3 months. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen in 3 months, sister.
3 months. I'm talking 2 weeks.
Right, right. I'm not feeling well. You're absolutely right. Oh my gosh. So yeah.
So awesome, awesome, awesome. So right quick, Doc, you seem to have like an awesome vision for yourself in your practice and your mission. Like I keep saying, I know, but it's awesome. Where could you go? Because right now, how can you see yourself expanding and growing into what other areas of a human optimization?
You know, I've just been praying about that. So every day I wake up, I ask God to use me. And then where do I go from here? My little small 800 square foot suite
Hmm.
connected
Hmm.
to a gym. My daughter said, I want you to be on the Grand Parkway, Mom, with a big sign. And everybody's coming to you for hormone health, because she knows that's where she sees that
Hmm.
a lot of my patients. I just want to be able to um, help my people. I am
Yeah,
very passionate about helping my Black and brown people. And that's where I see myself, as being that
gotcha.
that person to for my Black and brown people. And not just, and I don't want you to think, because they're not my clients right now. Let's be
Yeah, yeah,
honest.
I get it. I get it.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
the very small percentage of my clients are that look like me. And
yeah.
so I want to be able to do that. I want them to understand that it's gonna you're gonna take control of your health. It's gonna cost to get good care, but it's okay, and it will pay off in the long run. And we don't have to live the way we're living. We don't have to be miserable and just, this
Hmm.
is tired all the time. This is the way it is. So where I see myself is having a larger practice with more people that look like me,
Hmm.
um and helping more people in my community. um
Awesome.
yeah, that
Great, great, great.
yeah.
And where can we find you again on the internet? For sure.
So my website is www.balancebodyandwellness.com. I'm
Yeah,
on social media. I am on Facebook at Balance Body and Wellness. I am on Instagram at Balance Body Wellness Texas. And I think I'm on TikTok too, the same place. That's
yeah.
me. And I'm in Spring, Texas, if you want to stop by, get a body scan.
Awesome. So and I meant to ask you this now, virtually, can
Uh,
you help people?
I do help people virtually. I am in the process, and I was telling you, I am in the process of expanding. I am licensed here in Texas and Florida.
Hmm.
Louisiana is wrapping up. I'm almost done with that. And then I'm expanding where the need is.
Hmm.
And so that is where I am in that space. If it's someone in your area that needs help, I definitely can help in a consultation matter, and then
Hmm.
help them find someone like me in your area if I need to.
Got to be like you though.
Yeah.
That's the only way. It's like it better be like the carbon copy of you.
But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I have a couple friends there, and so I'm saying maybe this is a good area to get over in that area.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what the South brings, and
Yes.
yeah, and so trust me, and my family, my friends, when you reach a certain age and it's getting younger and younger and younger, when you see people in your high school class, your class, whatever, they start to die off.
Yes.
And a lot of times, if it's not due to some accident or whatever, it's probably due to some type of a lifestyle issue, such as diabetes, such as heart disease, or whatever, something that was probably more preventable.
Right, right.
And you're seeing that more and more now, even at younger ages.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so yeah, so this and that's always been. I lived a large part of my life in New York City, and yeah, now that offered two perspectives, because people think that just because you're in the north you're healthier, but that's not necessarily the truth, because just if you have more money than you can afford, like we were saying earlier, and that's what that kind of that's really the true or reality of it. Because I lived in the Bronx and I saw a lot of people. If you know anything about the Bronx is the has more health challenges, but it also has more financial challenges in terms of the people that live there,
Mhm.
and so they tend to kind of like go hand in hand.
Right.
So the North doesn't matter. It's just people that are living in either in poverty
Hmm.
or a poverty mindset.
Yes. The mindset, Todd. And
Yeah,
we can eat good flavorful food that is homemade from the house and healthy. We can.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can. We
But we just
really
have
can.
to, I applaud my wife because she knows how she gets bored with food. And so I can eat the same thing almost every day as long as it's something there.
Me too.
But yeah, but she has to have it. She loves variety. And so she gets in and just like, okay, we're going to do this today. We're going to do this. But it's all, based on a healthy, good food
Yes.
and not processed. And the last time I love fried chicken, love macaroni and cheese. But the last time I had it was probably Thanksgiving.
Almost a
Uh,
year. It's almost a
yeah,
year.
almost, yeah. And so it's something that, I mean, when I say I love macaroni and cheese, oh my God, that's my favorite food. But I know what it does ultimately.
Hmm.
And so therefore I'll overlook it. I'll not overlook it, but just I'll bypass it
Hmm.
whenever I'm in a place where I know that they're serving it, because it's not time yet. It's not Thanksgiving yet.
And it's hard. It's just hard. And I get it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say we don't get it, because we get it. We get that, this is what we have. And if this and food is love in our community.
Yeah, it's
My
celebrated. It's
it is
just, yeah.
celebrated. It's what we do. You have eaten meetings. Everything is you won. Go eat.
Yeah,
You did something well. You go eat. So it's really hard for us not to put food in the top. The first thing we do. So it's like it's just really hard. And so
yeah,
we just have to make good choices, and it's not going to be perfect choices. That's what part I want people to understand. No, you don't have to eat
yeah,
perfect, and you don't have to
yeah.
eat tree roots and bark. Like, you don't like, we can really eat some good meat, some good lean meat.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
So Doc, like I said, thank you so much for hanging out
thank you
with
for
me for
having
a few
me.
minutes today. I truly, truly enjoyed our conversation, and I look forward to learning more about what you're doing and stay in contact with you. And maybe there's some things that we can work on together. I would love to collaborate and see what's possible. Yeah, now. Like I said, I truly, truly respect your mission and what you guys are doing down there. And so, once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So, everybody, listen, check this lady out, okay? If you're in her area, please, please do check her out. And if you're in my area, get in contact with her anyway. And so, like I said, she's going to have that consultation with you and find you someone that has her values. And so let's work on that. Let's work on optimizing our health and ultimately, like the title of the show, living our best lives. That's the mission, okay? And even, yes, we can still live our lives, our best lives after the age of 50. All right. So we can live it up, everybody. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I look forward to checking you out on the next episode of Living Your Best Life. Todd Cheek signing out. Y'all be good. Peace.